Moments ago, we saw FBI forensic teams go behind this building across the street from the engineering and physics building where the gunman shot and killed 2 Brown University students and wounded 9 others. You can see here, actually, if we can, my producer Seth's going to show us over here. You can see the yellow tape here. They just put this yellow tape up just now, and you can see that they're behind this building, and we don't know what they're looking for. All we know is that the forensics teams went back there. They left the engineering and physics building. I would say about a dozen, Seth, right? Was that
about a dozen?
About a dozen. They walked over here. Now, in relation to where we are to the shooting, we are across the street. We saw on Waterman Street over here, you can see the yellow tape. That's the corner over there where the person of interest that's been seen in all the surveillance tapes, that's where he turned right after the shooting, and he started walking down this street. So what's notable about this is how close it is to the engineering and physics building where this shooting happened on Saturday. And again, in just the last 15-20 minutes, we saw a lot of forensics teams, folks with the FBI, walk out of the building and then walk towards this building, and they are now behind the building. And this building, by the way, if you look over here, Seth, you can see this building. Seth Andrews is my producer. He's shooting this for us. You can see this building is 145 Waterman in Providence, and it's got a chiropractor, a law group. It seems to be offices for local businesses here, and it was pretty jarring just how quickly that happened. I will say, just moments before we saw the FBI forensic team walk over here and tape this off and go behind this building, we saw some investigators walk by. I saw them walk by me, and they appeared to be interviewing somebody out here, and then all of a sudden those teams came with the yellow tape, and now they're behind this business or these multiple businesses on 145 Waterman looking for something. We do know that today we saw a lot of the FBI team and the investigators. They were inside of a dumpster right next to the engineering and physics building where this shooting happened. So we saw them really concentrating on a dumpster, the dumpster that was actually on site of that building where the shooting happened. We've also seen them pulling out bags of evidence from where this shooting happened. And then behind me now we can see some more police officers that are coming out. So this has been a very active situation. And I want to give you guys a sense too. Also, Seth, if you turn around, you can kind of see all the media that's here. This is all the media just across the street. We all followed the forensic team members from the FBI to this area, and now we are all standing here waiting to see what they're going to pull out, if anything, from here. So to recap again, for those who haven't been following this story, this has been a situation here, and I'll go over here. We can pull back a little bit more. This has been a situation where they initially detained somebody at 3:45 Sunday morning after the shooting, who they thought was the person of interest they were looking for. That was in Coventry, Rhode Island, about 20 miles south of Brown University. It turns out at a news conference last night, they said, you know what? That person, there's no evidence or no basis for that person to be the shooter, so they released him, and now they're looking for the gunman. Manhunt is continuing, and we've seen investigators now concentrate and focus their attention on this building, 145 Waterman Street. The big picture of this with the evidence, it's been really surprising for all of us on the ground and who have followed these things how little video evidence there has been in this case. I mean, you would think that a shooting on a major university like Brown University here in an urban area, that there would be tons of surveillance video and images for us to show who the person of interest is that they're looking for. But the reality is that's not the case. We've only seen one video on the corner of Hope and Waterman, all the way over there, taken from a surveillance camera, showing the back of the person of interest, all dressed in black. You don't see his face. Police also say there's not a lot of cameras that were inside the engineering and physics building at the time of the shooting because it's an old building. So we haven't been able to provide the public, they haven't been able to provide the public in the last 48 hours with any clear images of the person that they're looking for. So that has been a frustrating thing. Obviously, I'd imagine for the investigators, a frustrating thing for us that are trying to get all the information out. We know that the FBI has been asking all of these folks that live in this area to provide videos. Oh, and actually, we'll show you. Turn around, Seth. There's those are the forensic FBI teams. They also keep the house on that corner too. Just noticed. So there you can see those were the exact same forensic teams that we saw walk in there about, what do you think, Seth, like 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, about 10 minutes ago.
So now they're walking out on that corner.
All the media following.
And we have all the media here following them on the right. As you can see, we've got the media on the right following, and then we've got the left. We've got investigators here. Again, not only are they focusing in, and they weren't did you see that? Were they carrying anything?
No.
So they weren't carrying anything, but those are, you can see the forensics teams were in the Tyvek protective suits. So we're going to be monitoring this situation here on the ground. Again, so much of the focus of the investigation that we saw was on the engineering and physics building, but just around the corner in the last 20 minutes or so, we've really seen a flurry of activity on the corner where the person of interest that was caught on the surveillance video, they put up the yellow tape, and we've seen a couple of forensic teams folks walk out, and now you can see the press behind us following these teams. We're going to stay here a little bit longer to see, I guess, what else. I guess I'll ask my producer, who's also my photographer here on our cell phone. Seth, what are you most surprised by? What do you think?
I think we saw late in the afternoon the amount of FBI agents that responded to the building where the shooting took place definitely increased, and then they really made a beeline from the building to this location.
Yeah,
about 10 or 12 of them.
They're taking down the yellow tape. Interesting. Yellow tape has come down. Thank you. So just as quickly as it went up, it came down. Fascinating. So just about 20 minutes ago, we saw a flurry of activity. The forensic team come out here. They went behind this building. They put up the yellow tape. And then within moments, now go ahead, show it again, Seth. They're taking the yellow tape down. I guess this would indicate that either they found what they found or there's nothing to be seen. Yeah, we're seeing the police here take down the yellow tape that they had just put up, and there was a focus behind these buildings, Seth, you could show them. There was a focus behind, I think, this building to the left, the brick building, 145 Waterman. A lot of the attention was back there, and they went in the back, and then some of the team members came out, and the yellow tape came down. So we'll find out. I'd ask these officers, but they won't tell us anything. No. They're not part of the investigation in that sense. But yeah, that's a fascinating development. How quickly the yellow tape went up for this particular area, and then how quickly it came down. So either they found what they're looking for, or they didn't find anything. And again, I think it's important, Seth. I think you and I were talking about this. We saw them speaking to somebody on the street before the forensic teams came out here.
Correct.
In a flurry. So that's the situation we're dealing with right now. I don't know if more people will come out. Do you think more people will come out?
I think that's it.
You think that's it? Okay. Well, let's give people a sense of where we're at. So we're at Brown University. Classes canceled, exams canceled, papers canceled, and this is the intersection that we're really looking at here. It's Hope and Waterman, and the surveillance video that everyone's seen of the person of interest was captured by that white camera. I don't know if we can zoom in. Oh, look at that. That white camera. That's the surveillance camera that captured that video of the person of interest that they're looking for. And it was here on this intersection. And Seth will show the, we'll walk to it. This is the engineering and physics building where the shooting happened. You can see it's 7 stories tall. And you can see how close it was to where they had just put the yellow tape. It was right over here, right? I mean, so it's literally around the corner. I don't know. Yeah,
this is the direction that he walked on the surveillance video when he walked.
Yeah, let's zoom out. Yeah, so you can see. Yeah. So basically, the person of interest surveillance video shows the man in black. You see just him wearing black, walking down Hope Street, and then he makes a right on Waterman. And they've been asking the public to give us any other more video or photos that can kind of connect the dots. You know, people with ring cameras, surveillance cameras, and yet 48 hours into this investigation, they haven't released anything, even though the police said they would release anything that gave a more clear picture of this person of interest that they're looking for, responsible potentially for this shooting. We'll show you over here. This is the engineering school. We'll walk all the way over there. It's a freezing day, by the way. It feels like it was what, 1 degree was the feel like temperature this morning out here.
Feels colder than that.
Oh, there's the FBI teams. We'll show you guys over here. Let's pop. You got this over here?
Yep.
Oh, come on. Danny, are you shooting that?
It's got it. It's a pro.
Can you keep it up? Keep shooting. Oh, okay, good. All right, guys. You want to zoom out a little bit? Can we? All right. So this is right outside, just to get a sense of what we're looking at. This is right outside of the engineering and physics building where this shooting happened. You can see the FBI evidence response teams are currently searching the brush outside of this building. They're using a rake now. It looks like they're going to do this is what we see, a classic evidence walk. Right?
Yep.
This is, they are now walking. And they are looking for any evidence in this, in the snow. Just to give people a sense of where we're at, this is right outside. This is right outside of the building of the shooting. You can see right here, this is the building where it all happened to your left. It's 7 stories. You can go up top, you can see. And now look, we'll just keep the shot on the FBI here. They are looking for evidence right now outside of this building. Now this is interesting because this hasn't been closed off to the public in the days after the shooting. We were just live here, right over here on the sidewalk. Any sense, Seth? I'm talking to my producer now, but any sense of what you think they could be looking for?
Anything that maybe was left behind that fell off of the subject who's now wanted in connection to the 2 murders.
It is notable, I could say, that this is right outside. Oh, this is also, I would say, near the dumpster.
Yes.
Where we saw FBI agents and the forensic teams looking in the dumpster of this building. It's just behind those trucks. Those trucks, by the way, in the back, you can see those trucks. Those are FBI vehicles. We know from the director, Cash Patel, that they sent resources here to help. But this is fascinating. They're using a rake here to go through the snow and doing an evidence walk to look for any kind of evidence that may be pertinent to this investigation. Keep the shot up here. I would just keep it on the walk here, yeah. This will ask our team back in New York if they're seeing anybody here, anybody has any questions. We're going to walk
picking something up.
Here. Huh?
He's picking something up.
There it is. There it is. He just picked something up. Is that like a blue?
Yeah.
Like a blue plastic thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get so close.
I did. I don't know who ended up with it.
What's your full name? Come on, to the camera. Go ahead, tell us.
Okay, Kyle Mazza.
Kyle, who do you work for?
So I freelance. I'm a freelance photographer.
We're going to keep the shot on them, but Kyle is going to tell us, he's showing me right now on his still camera what you think they may have picked up.
I don't know. I'm not sure. It's blue. It's a blue object.
Okay.
Let me see.
We'll see. Seth, yeah, go ahead, show it. So
Yeah, of
photographer
course.
Kyle took a photo of the object that they just picked up from the snow. See, you can zoom in, you can see it was like a blue object. Yeah, I mean, I can't tell what that is. But we'll put the camera back. Thanks, Kyle. Appreciate
You're welcome.
it.
No
We'll
problem.
put the camera back on the FBI here. As they just did a walk for evidence right outside of the engineering and physics building where this shooting happened on Saturday.
Bryan, blue bag.
Blue bag, okay. In the blue bag. You see the blue bag over there? one of the FBI agents told him blue bag with something in it. I guess surprising for a number of reasons. One, I mean that was surprising for a number of reasons. One, it's not like this is a new location. FBI agents come out right on the front lawn of where the crime scene is now, 48 hours later, is a little surprising, but they did their walk here on the lawn, and they did this walk just moments after we saw a slew of the forensic team turn the corner here on Waterman and Hope, whereas the last surveillance video we saw of the person of interest, and then go behind a business right across the street to maybe look for something. They taped it off with police tape. Then about, 10 to 15 minutes later, they took the police tape off and they did this evidence walk right outside of the building where this shooting happened. The gunman walked in and killed 2 Brown University students and wounded 9 others. Pretty extraordinary. It's the most action we've seen out here all day. And certainly something that we'll be looking into in terms of what more they could have maybe picked up. But they certainly, I think, are focused on that person of interest, as we've been saying, and they're as we continue to kind of try to put these pieces together. And I'll ask the folks in New York, I don't know if they're still with me here, if anybody has any questions on social media, they can maybe feed me. Anybody who's maybe interested or curious about what we're seeing out here. This is, obviously a case that a lot of people are interested in, given the twists and turns that we've seen. I guess we can also show more of the building here. Some of the crews. Got it. So we'll look over here. We saw these are FBI. We believe these are FBI vehicles. Pretty 99% sure, correct?
They are FBI evidence response vehicles that come to a scene, and exactly what you saw before, where they're doing the sweep with the rake in their feet. It's where they keep all their materials in here.
Right, and then we saw earlier aerial footage of a dumpster that they were looking at, right?
Correct.
And there was FBI agents in those white Tyvek suits, and they were inside looking at that dumpster, and that was interesting. I mean, literally they had one guy that was inside, the other one that was outside, kind of just really focused on that dumpster. And again, I guess we'll show more of the building of where it happened if we'll walk over this way. So this is an old, we keep being told, actually you can see over here, we saw the forensics team walk through here, and you can see that they've, I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can see it there. They've closed off. You can't look past the glass because they put up the cardboard, or looks like kind of like a brown wrapping paper, so that we don't peek inside.
They don't want spying eyes inside.
Yeah, they don't want any spying eyes inside like our eyes. We'll walk over here though. Again, this is the building where the shooting happened on Saturday just after 4 p.m.
Brian, one thing we could show them is earlier there was that woman who's an employee of Brown and her daughter. They came and they laid some flowers down.
Oh, where did they? I don't know where they laid it, but let's get the entrance here. You can see this is one of the other entrances to the building. Like I said, you can see it's 7 stories tall. I don't know if you can zoom out more. Probably not. It's my iPhone. Zoom out now. Maybe pinch out. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Give people a sense of the building here. We'll go back here. You said my producer, by the way, for those who's just joining us, is Seth Andrews. I'm Bryan Llenas. I've been streaming now for about 20 plus minutes, just trying to give you guys a sense of what we're seeing. The yellow tape extends out here behind the building. We just saw moments ago the FBI forensic teams doing an evidence walk right outside of this building. We also saw them tape off a couple of buildings on the corner of the street, and they went in the back of those buildings potentially looking for any evidence. We didn't see them pull anything out of notes, but that might just be because we missed it. And these are flowers that have been left over here by it was a staff member, Seth, is that right?
It was a staff member and her daughter that came to pay their respects.
To pay their respects, yeah.
And when I asked her, how the staff and the administration was doing, she said she hasn't been back to work since it happened, wasn't going to work this weekend, and they're off next week. So
they're off next week. Yeah, a big part of this out here at Brown University is that this community Brown has canceled classes, canceled final exams, canceled projects. I mean, the fall semester has come to a tragic end. And I guess that's a note that was left behind by the staff member.
I don't know if this was actually the one.
These are other flowers, but for those who are injured and for those who should still be with us today, Rhode Island will always remember. We have now confirmed the identity of those two who were shot and killed, the two students. A sophomore from Alabama, her name is Ella Cook. She was sitting inside of that classroom when the gunman went inside and opened fire. And then also a freshman, Muhammad Aziz. He wanted to be a neurosurgeon from Virginia and originally from Uzbekistan. Those are the identities of the two that we know who died. We know that there were 9 others who were wounded. 7 of those at last check were in stable condition, critical but stable condition, and 1 of them was in critical condition. We haven't been able to get any update in the last few hours today as to how they may be improving or not, but they haven't seemed to be too concerned. I wouldn't say too concerned. They haven't seemed. It seemed to be optimistic about those who are in the hospital. So we'll keep our thoughts and prayers with them, and our thoughts and prayers with the family of Ella Cook and Muhammad Aziz. But we'll walk back over here again. This is a back look of the engineering and science building. You can zoom out, Seth, and just look up as well. This is the back of the building where the shooting happened. And you got to imagine this happened. This happened at 4 p.m. on Saturday. We had the surveillance video moments afterwards. There was an alert sent out to the campus to shelter in place. And so this entire campus has been under a protective security perimeter. Okay, so we can see the doors over here to the building, correct? This is the 3rd entrance I've seen into this building from the street. We've had some questions about whether or not the doors were locked or unlocked. The doors, we've been told, were unlocked. And the reason why the doors were unlocked was because this is final exam period. And so they had those doors unlocked for a reason, for people to kind of enter and go. It wasn't just that people were taking final exams inside of this building. There were also final exam reviews. And that's exactly what was happening inside the classroom that this gunman chose. There was a review happening. A PA was helping people for an economics exam, helping students. Inside the classrooms of this building is stadium seating. So you can imagine it's just like when you go to a movie theater or a stadium, the seats aren't just flat, they kind of go at an upward angle. The PA spoke to ABC News and described the man coming in with a long gun. He was absolutely terrified. Seth, what else did Joseph Azuro say? That's the name of the PA. But he says they walked in and he described a scene of students and students just ducking and running for their lives.
I think the big thing that stood out for me, Brian, was that he said he made eye contact with the shooter.
That's right. He did. This Joseph Oduro said that he made eye contact with this shooter. You got to imagine he's a key witness, no doubt, in this, to come face to face with this shooter inside of this building. A lot of questions here about the motive, a lot of questions as to whether or not he targeted this specific classroom, why Brown, why this classroom, was it random? We don't have answers to that. That's all part of this investigation. But we do know that the doors to the Barris and Holly building, the engineering and physics building, were unlocked. We also know that they told us time and time again that this is an old building. And the reason why that's important is because we keep asking, where's the surveillance video? Where's a better image? Well, we haven't been able to see any cameras, at least out here. My producer, Seth Andrews, we haven't seen any cameras leading, for instance, going into the building, right? I haven't seen any to the naked eye. But they said that they don't have, it's an old building, they don't have cameras inside, a lot of cameras inside. And they able to capture the commotion and the nightmare scenario and the tragedy of people that were inside that running for their lives, but it did not get a clear picture of the gunman. And so that has complicated this investigation. We are continuing to walk. This is Hope Street, and we'll go back over here, Seth. Just keep showing the building. One more more time. We're giving you guys a look of the building. Some officer over there as well. Oh, you know what? Let's go over here. Actually, we got a new. We just taped off this building as well. Here we go, guys. Here we go. See this? Okay, so this is you. This is right across from the engineering and physics building. You can see the FBI evidence teams are now roping off this building. Over here, you can see them in the trees. Seth over here on the Seth over here, we'll cross, watch the traffic. They're over there in the trees. Now they're walking over there. I don't know if you can see, zoom in a little bit. Yeah, so that's across from the engineering and physics building. This is behind the house in the corner. You can see this person over here, the evidence person over here, kind of going through the snow to your left. Seth, you zoom out over here on the top in the snow.
Yeah.
And they're doing a walk for evidence there as well. I don't want to get too much in their shot, Seth. We might be in their shots behind us. We just want to be mindful. Yeah, there we go. Maybe we'll cross the street to actually give people a better view. Guys, hold up for us just one sec. We'll go over here. Here we go. Here we go. So this is the house right across the street from the engineering building. We're now seeing the FBI evidence and forensic team, the evidence teams, evidence response teams now going through the snow, doing a walk. And the reason why they're doing a walk is they're looking for any particular evidence that could have fallen. It has snowed here. So they're kicking around in the snow to see if there's anything that could help them in this investigation. The proximity to this home, this is on the corner of Waterman and Hope. And again, if we give people a sense, Seth, of where we're at, while they're kicking in the snow looking for evidence here, let's zoom out real quick. Let's give people a sense of where we're at. So that's the house. They're looking for evidence there. Behind us is where the engineering and physics building is. That's where the shooting happened, right? So right across the street, they're looking for the evidence in the snow right now. And on the corner here of Hope and Waterman is where they have the surveillance video of the person of interest that was released to the public. So again, all of this is happening very close to where the shooting happened, right? To the building. And they're kicking around in the snow now looking for any kind of evidence. We'll just keep watching them. Again, for those of you guys who are just joining us, this is just a live stream off of the phone of Bryan Llenas, correspondent, and Seth Andrews, producer out of the New York Bureau. We've been live here for ever since this shooting happened. And so in just the last 45 minutes or so, we've really captured a lot of the activity here. FBI, and collecting stuff over here. Let's look across the street. Also taped off this corner, okay? Let's zoom out a little bit. All right, here we go. More evidence teams here as well. You can see the yellow tape. Again, this is all right next door.
Oh, they're opening up a paper bag, Brian. It looks like they're...
For those of you guys just joining us, this is the FBI forensics team.
She's just taking a picture.
They're now just looking, the evidence team. They're looking for evidence here on the street. Not only here, but also there. So.
Brian, they were picking something up down over here before.
Okay.
I couldn't make out what it was.
So the FBI evidence response teams are continuing to do their job here on the corner, right next to the engineering and physics building. You see those brown paper bags? They asked where they put the evidence in. We'll continue to walk here and look for evidence. That's a good shot. You can see them that they're kicking the snow out of the way, methodically looking step by step, looking to see if there's anything in the snow at all that can help point them in the right direction in this investigation. For those of you just joining us again, this is the FBI evidence response team looking for people in this house. This is a house on the they collected 2 pieces. Okay.
You have photos?
Yes.
All right, guys, this is a photographer here, Kyle, showing us that they collected 2 pieces of evidence. Was it right there, Kyle, on the street?
Right there.
I don't know if we can tap. It's a little blurry, but
Right here.
okay. Okay. All right. Sorry, just give me 1 sec, guys. Just got. All right, sorry, guys. All right, so we're going to keep this shot up here of the FBI. Again, this is the most action we have seen in this investigation right outside of the engineering and physics building. They are methodically looking for evidence. At least 3 or 4 different things. Is that right at this point?
Yes.
They picked it up and put them in brown bags. And if you look over across the street, Seth, for those of us just show, let me see it right over here. There's that team as well. They're doing the exact same thing across the street. There's more evidence response team folks here. So we've got a dueling situation here. 2 homes really across the street. Over there, they're looking over there, and then behind us, they're looking over here as well. Yeah, I would just keep it zoomed out as much as you can, so just to show, yeah, give people a sense, yeah. They're now using their hands as well. They're just going through the snow, really, just trying to see, is there anything that we may have missed? Yeah, so they're using their hands and their feet for this process, everybody, because they really need to look to see if there's anything small here. Obviously, we've had several inches of snow here, and so that's what they've been doing. They've been kicking the snow to the side with their hands and feet, and every once in a while, we've seen them, you can actually turn around, you can see they've got these brown paper bags for evidence, and what they'll do is they'll find something that could be evidence, they put it in a brown paper bag, and that's part of the investigation. But again, they've been having to kick the snow around because obviously there could be any little thing that could lead them, that could be a big break in this investigation. So they're essentially done here, and now they're moving over here across Hope Street back over to this house. Again, you can see them here. They're using their feet. They're kicking over the snow. They're looking for anything in particular that could be helpful, any piece of evidence that could help in this investigation. We've seen now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, more than a dozen FBI evidence response team members that have been out here. This is now their, let's see, 1, 2, 3. This is the 3rd time we've seen them. 3rd property we've seen them kind of push the snow aside, looking for evidence. Putting up the caution tape now to keep the public, including us, out of their way. And there they go. Not only are they kicking the snow aside and using their hands, but you can see they're in a line. And the reason why they're in a line is that they don't miss anything. You know, they're spanning. You can see they go from the house all the way to the corner, and every single one of them are methodically going and stepping in unison to make sure that they don't miss a spot. Over here too, you can see them looking over here in the brush. Yeah, there they go. They're still looking for stuff. Oh. They just picked something up and put it in a brown bag. No idea what that was.
I couldn't.
Plastic bottle, Brian.
Plastic bottle?
Plastic bottle, yes.
Okay. All right. So we just got confirmation that they picked up a plastic bottle right over here, right? From this corner. They put it in a bag. Plastic bottle is interesting. Could be, what, DNA? Evidence, right?
Fingerprints.
Look over here. Okay. So this is the type of stuff they're picking up. Now, this is Kyle. Kyle, give us your last name again.
Mazza.
Kyle Mazza's taking photos. This is the bottle that they just picked up just now, and they put it in a brown bag. This is the type of stuff that they're picking up. Doesn't mean that it's necessarily is evidence, but you better believe they're going to check it, perhaps for DNA, obviously, saliva, fingerprints, anything that could lead to a break. Now you can see they're going through the brush over here as well. Let's go over this way, actually, Seth.
Watch your back, Brian.
We'll watch traffic. All right, let's stay over here. All right, guys, we'll show you over here. Here we go. Better view. They're going through the brush now as well, so we'll zoom in a little bit actually here.
Zoom in.
Yeah, Monday morning quarterbacking my producer, who's now a photographer. You can see them here going through the brush, using their hands as well to see if they can find anything. What's interesting about this corner is, we can zoom back out, we can show them, what's interesting about this corner is that it is the corner, right? It's the corner where they last saw the person of interest on surveillance video, the one that's been released to the public. How much?
8 evidence.
Filled with stuff?
Yes.
All right, we're saying that they have 8 evidence bags total full with stuff in it. So that's what we've been told by other members of the press. I guess we'll keep following them here, Seth. Yeah.
No, they just blocked me. I zoomed in and.
All right, I'll take over. Go ahead,
Okay.
Kyle. All right, everybody. This is Bryan Llenas again, national correspondent with Fox, obviously. We are shooting. This is live off of my cell phone. This is FBI evidence response teams, about 24 of them that are concentrating on a home right across the street from the engineering and physics building where the shooting happened at Brown University. This is now the third, let me see, 1, 2, this is the third property that we've seen them, well, fourth property we've seen them look into. Just a few moments ago, they were about an hour ago, they were behind that building, 145. Now they are in front of the building next to it, and they've been doing the evidence lines, essentially walking in unison. They're kicking snow, they're using their hands to get through the snow to try to look for any evidence that could potentially help. And the reason why this area is so important is that this was the last intersection where we saw the person of interest surveillance video that's been released. It was actually shot over there at that corner of Waterman and Hope, and they see the person of interest who's in black walking down Waterman here and going that way. So it's interesting that the evidence response teams are in the snow looking for evidence here, because it's possible maybe the person of interest threw something in the snow here after they left, maybe tried to get rid of any evidence at all, whether it be a weapon or anything that could help them identify this person of interest or the gunman, obviously. So we can see about 24 FBI evidence response team members who are really looking at both of these properties right now, meticulously looking through everything. So, hey everybody, sorry, it's me, Brian. Just give me one sec. We've been live here now for close to 45 minutes.
It's kind of a fluid situation.
Hey New York, if you guys can hear me, if anybody's got questions that's watching on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or on X for Fox, just let us know. I can try to answer any of your questions as we watch this happening. This is all live right now. Again, outside of a couple of buildings, right across the street from the engineering and physics building at Brown University where the shooting happened. Try to zoom in. We've seen them put several pieces of evidence in brown bags, including an alcohol, just a empty alcohol bottle that was put in a brown bag. Again, anything that could help them track this gunman down. It could be DNA, obviously, we're talking about fingerprints, saliva, anything at all, and whether or not this person may have thrown away any evidence. Also important. Here, we'll zoom in here as we look. There you can see. So I know some people are wondering what they plan to do in terms of future security or added surveillance here at Brown University. Well, they haven't talked or addressed that, and I think why they haven't addressed that yet is because they are still actively very much in this current investigation before they can kind of take a 2020 look at what went wrong and what they could do to improve the response to this as a university. But I will say that ultimately so much of the focus has been on the surveillance cameras and lack thereof. So I could imagine that they're going to want to install more surveillance cameras to have better angles, particularly of this building, but of buildings throughout the campus, so that if God forbid anything like this were to happen again, they'll be able to provide the public with clearer photos and images, because right now they just simply have not been able to do that, which has made the investigation really, really hard. Well, it seemingly seems it's made it harder. All investigations are really hard. All right, FBI response team here is meeting. They seem to be huddling over here. You can see about 24 of them, 16 of them, 17 of them talking to one another. Hey Seth. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me show you my producer. Yeah, I'm going to show you. This is Seth Andrews. Say hi, Seth. Seth Andrews is my producer at the New York Bureau. He's been doing yeoman's work out here and has been shooting most of this stuff that we've been talking about in the last close to an hour now. He's on the phone right now talking to our Fox News channel programs, correct? Right?
Correct,
Talking
yes.
to the control rooms there so they can see this shot on Fox News channel, the same shot you guys are now seeing streamed on X and on Instagram and the FBI. We see the evidence response teams now for the FBI now looking over the fence of this building. And now they're going to go behind the 145 building on Waterman. This is the building that we initially saw them rush to. It's got businesses, a law group, a chiropractor, and now they're looking at it now. My hand is frozen. Give me 1 sec. How's your hand doing?
I'm good.
All right, give me 1 sec. Again, it's like 20 degrees out, real feels in the teens. Here, let me just, you want to maybe zoom into them over there. Sorry, Seth. Seth, I don't know, what else do you think we should, behind this building, looks like they're speaking to somebody on the intercom over here. You see that?
Yeah.
I think they're speaking to somebody on the intercom, maybe the owner of this home. I can kind of hear an intercom, can't you?
Yeah.
Looks like they're speaking to somebody there. All right, we'll go. They're now behind the 145 building. This is where the initial sort of push happened. Here, let me see. I'll walk. Hey everybody, yeah, Bryan Llenas again. Sorry, give me one sec as we move here to try to show you guys what we're dealing with. Here, Seth. Sorry, let me pass it back over to you. We'll go this way. Oh, over here. You can see back there. You see it?
Yep.
On the roof. On the roof. Let's look at the roof. Look at the roof. We got somebody on the roof. Zoom out. So we just saw a member of the FBI up there as well on the roof of this building. We see them in the back over here on the fence, and we see them now on the roof of this building as well. Oh, there he is. That's it. See him on the roof. Again, this is investigators that are now on the roof of this building here.
There's more.
145 Watermen, more evidence response teams headed to the back of this building. We've seen them use their hands and their feet, walking in line in unison, looking for any evidence at all that could help. We've seen them on the fence as well. Out of there, shot for the channel. They're about to take them live as well, so we'll go over here on this side. You're good here. Again, this is the FBI evidence response teams in the back of this building, across the street from the engineering and physics building. Over the last hour or so, we've seen the FBI pick up anything that could be evidence and put them in those brown paper bags. We saw like a piece of plastic. We saw an empty alcohol bottle. Anything that could help them lead them to the shooter or person of interest they're looking for. All right, we are, okay, this is the building that they've been focused on, 145 on Waterman. Again, home to some businesses. They were just behind it. You can see the yellow tape is along this entire block on Waterman Street. We've seen FBI evidence response teams looking in the snow and in every crevice you could imagine on this street. We'll walk over on this way. That's our producer, Sandy. That's, hey, Sandy, say hi. Sandy Ibrahim, say hello. Sandy is a roving producer, correct?
Yes, I am.
Yes, tell them what
running around the city, getting all different sounds, getting press conferences, making sure you guys are up to date on everything that has been going on since Saturday night.
So Sandy has been working nonstop, walking all over the place, flagging us as to anything that they may have seen, including these FBI agents who have been looking here for evidence over the last losing track of time, but the last hour or so since we've been live. Let's see if we can see anything else over here, guys. We'll go this way. You can see the yellow police tape. They've closed this area off, and the search was up and down this block here. And again, the last surveillance video that they released to the public, the only one that they've released, shows that the person of interest, the potential suspected gunman, walking down this sidewalk on Waterman, heading east that way. And they've been asking the public if they have any videos or photos to submit them to FBI.gov/Brown University shooting. FBI.gov/Brown University shooting. I'm trying to find where these FBI agents, where'd they go? we'll go back here. There's one. Guys, it's freezing out here. You can see everybody in their coats. It's got a real feel in the single digits and in the teens all day here in Providence, Rhode Island, as these evidence response team members. Oh, it looks like they're concentrating. You see behind there on the fence, there's FBI evidence response team members. You can see the top of their head looking at a blue bin. Could be a trash bin or something in that home or business behind that fence there. Looks like there's several members of the FBI response team there. Let me zoom back in there to show. Again, those are the FBI evidence response teams on the other side of the fence, continuing to do their work, looking for anything. Can you hold this for a sec, Steph?
Yeah.
Just put me on cam for a sec as I show people. So, it's so cold out here. Using my fingers to zoom in and out using our iPhone out here. And again, we'll show you. Do you think we're trying to get a sense of where else these FBI evidence response team members may have gone? There were like 24 of them, and they were behind this building over here.
Well, what's interesting enough is they started initially at this building here, right?
Oh, there they are. We'll see more over here. Come on, we'll go this way, Seth. Yeah.
But they left, but they're now back at this building.
Yeah, exactly. Here they are. Yeah. They're back in the snow. Again, the FBI evidence response teams here are walking in a line, as they do when they do these types of things, and investigate a certain area. They walk in line in unison. They kick around the snow or anything that could be lost in the grass or snow. In this particular case, the snow. And they're pushing everything they can as they search.
They're doing a quick search of the area where this person of interest in black clothing is walking. This is Hope and Waterman. I'm going to go down a little bit further.
Brian, you know what this reminds me of a little bit is when we were in Butler after President Trump was shot, and these FBI teams doing the same thing, doing their grid search.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good point. Yeah, this is exactly what the FBI does. It's what they're trained in doing after all major investigations. They do the grid search, which is what we've been describing. A methodical walk in line over a certain area where they're walking in line, kicking over the snow. Let's go around this side.
Yeah. Thank you. Any luck? We're moving again. Brian, you want to take this? I'm going to go put eyes on to see if they're going around to the other side.
Go ahead.
Down the back of this parking lot that we've obtained. But there's a mansion right here, business right there.
Hey, New York, this is Bryan Llenas. If you guys have anybody who's got questions on social media, we're going to have to recharge here in a few minutes. Just let us know. All right, Seth, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Everybody, this is Bryan Llenas and Seth Andrews. We've been reporting out here. I'm going to go get a battery to charge this phone. Here, Seth, hold this.
Yep.
Let's just put the shot up for our viewers, and I'll be right back. So keep this shot up for everybody. You good?
Yep.
See how you doing?
No. I'm not missing anything. Actually, huh? Megan, there's no activity on 286 or 287 currently. It looks like they're all behind
Okay,
this.
we are gonna take you guys live right now, but I appreciate you flagging.
You taking Llenas cam or are you taking roving cam?
Roving Sandy cam. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Copy. You're Joel, right? Yeah, that's up. Is there anywhere I can rest this? Where it'll stay? Yeah. No, probably not. Tell her I'm gonna go over and I'll put it up. Tell her I'm gonna go over there. Tell her it's their second time going back here, though. It's their second time coming back to this building.
Yeah, they keep back to their chiropractor. Copy.
Here they come, here they come.
Hey, I'm doing just checking the snow again. This is where we're down.
Daryl. Oh, I see.
All right, for those that are still paying attention and watching here, I'm following a group of, looks like about 7 FBI evidence response team members. And they're just talking about how there's a dumpster that they found that looks like they're probably gonna go and comb through right now. And for those of you still watching, I'm not interfering with their investigative work, walking on the street, public property.